At the time I did my military service, I hated it.
Sometimes I know a friend who's doing art. He has completely lost inspiration after going out of the army because, like...
While most idols only share the good sides of their time in the military, things seem to be way more rocky than you can imagine. From having photos taken without consent in the shower to seeing the poops in the practice room, the military is not just where idols train their physical wellness, it's where their mental durability is pushed to the limit that some even get into depression. This is also the source of terrible rumors. As some insiders describe, it's the hell on earth in the true sense of the words. Now that BTS has all enlisted, let me show you how their life in the next 2 years might be after delving into various clips of real soldiers, sharing of insiders, and even shows like Real Men and Infinity Challenges, where training in the military are simulated. Then, at the end of this video, you might have a decent grasp, both dark and bright side, of one of the most rigorous military systems in the world where BTS, as well as all male idols, would experience. So, how does the experience at the military be described overall? Well, it sucks.
At the time I did my military service, I hated it. I just hated every moment being in there. I haven't seen a single person who really wanted to be there.
That is Jin Kim, serving for 2 years. According to Danny, aka an insider, the military is literally a society in a society with people coming from all walks of life. Those who cook, work at the desk, to, obviously, those who sing and dance like idols, come and live together. But this life, as I said, sucks.
Just imagine this. You have a boss at work, really shitty boss, and you work this 9 to 6 job that you're dreading. You get paid $400 per month. That's like a fifth of the minimum wage you have in your country. After work, after you go home, this boss also follows you home and is beside you until you go to sleep at 10 p.m. And you sleep and you share the same room with each other. And then you wake up and the boss is still there and he goes to work with you and he's your shitty boss again. You're basically living with your shitty boss 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. He's even home in your weekends.
In South Korea, military service isn't just a duty. It's a legal requirement for all men, which is very different from other countries like the US, where you can choose to not join, or on the flip side, make it a career.
Compared to the US, where the military is voluntary, and you can pursue it as a career. In Korea, 2 years of service is mandatory, and everyone is forced to do it.
Think about it, every male citizen, from the guy next door to the biggest K-pop stars, has to serve, and if you avoid it, you can land yourself in jail. Why? Well, it all boils down to South Korea's history and its ongoing tensions with North Korea. After the Korean War, there was a pressing need for a ready and active military force. And you know, what's the thing that only insiders got to know? And according to Jin Kim, aka the guy that was invited by Tech Insider to talk about the real experiences, this knowledge was the very first time he heard about it. Turns out, even in the peace era, North Korea has invaded South Korea multiple times. While he also admitted that might just be him being brainwashed, but still, he is convinced North Korea has the capability and will to damage and invade South Korean society, so the military is trying to prepare for it. Quickly diving into the enlistment process. In South Korea, once a guy hits 18, he's liable for military duty. At 19, there's a physical exam to see if he's fit for training. Based on health, qualifications, and education, he's assigned a service type, but if he's unfit physically or mentally, he's exempt from this mandatory service. And here's the thing about timing. Korean men must enlist by the age of 28. Most guys prefer to get it over with as early as possible, often right after their first or second year of college. Why the rush? Well, delaying military service can make it tough to get a job post-college. Employers often prefer hiring those who've completed their service to avoid losing an employee for 2 years to military duties. Plus, imagine being a fresh private taking orders from someone 5 years younger. Not the most appealing scenario, right? So, for our BTS stars, like many others, the decision of when to enlist involves weighing their career progress against societal expectations and legal requirements. It's a balancing act between their life as global superstars and their obligations as South Korean citizens. The initial training is intense. Kim talks about a grueling 5 weeks where you're constantly yelled at, learning to move quickly and follow orders without question. There's a specific way to do everything from eating to standing. And one of the most intense experiences? The notorious gas chamber, training to defend against a chemical attack. Even when variety shows such as Real Men, An Infinite Challenge lessened the difficulty of this training while bringing it on screen, people are still terrified by it. And Jin had gone through it. Picture this. You're in a room filled with chemical gas, and at first, you could wear a mask to protect your breathing. Then, as soon as the masks come off, the real challenge begins. The gas doesn't have long-term physical effects, but the immediate sensation is overwhelming. It feels like countless needles jabbing your skin, and breathing becomes a struggle. In that cramped room, soldiers experience a sense of chaos and suffocation. Some try to escape, some roll on the floor, grappling with the intense physical discomfort. This training isn't just about physical toughness, it's a mental battle too. For K-pop idols, who are used to performing on stage and facing different kinds of pressures, this would be a completely new kind of challenge. So, when we think about BTS members going through military training, it's not just the discipline and the new rowdy. It's also about facing and overcoming extreme challenges like gas chamber. But it's not all about the hardships. Jin also mentions that he learned a valuable lesson in the military.
If you can't make it work, make it work.
This attitude of resilience is something BTS members might also discover during their service. Speaking of challenges, let's delve into some of the rumors and real stories surrounding idols in the military. First, let's zoom in a bit more on G-Dragon's military service, because it really sheds light on what idols, including BTS members, might face. G-Dragon had quite the experience during his military service. His time there was rife with rumors and speculation, highlighting the unique challenges faced by idols in the military. G-Dragon's celebrity status followed him into service. There were talks about him using his status to smooth things over, like the rumor about him using an Amex Black Card to win favor among his peers. However, reports suggest that his attempts were often overshadowed by his fame, but the challenges didn't stop there. G-Dragon faced intense scrutiny even in his private moments. Stories circulated about soldiers trying to sketch details of his body in the showers, showing where he had freckles, where he had moles, where he had tattoos, where he had scars, a severe invasion of privacy. It's a stark reminder of how fame can lead to uncomfortable and even violating situations. Moreover, his personal items, including his underwear, were allegedly stolen, adding to the stress of being in the spotlight, even within the military confines. The constant media attention and the curiosity of visiting friends and family of other soldiers to catch a glimpse of the star added to the intensity of his service. At one point, G-Dragon was separated from the general soldier population. Now, according to reports, this was due to health reasons, and he was supposedly given a private room in one of the military hospitals. But this move stirred up a storm. People started talking. The whispers were all about how G-Dragon was receiving special treatment because of his celebrity status. And this is where it gets tricky for idols. You see, being an idol in the military is like walking a tightrope. On one hand, they can't be seen as getting any special privileges because of their fame that just doesn't sit well with the public or fellow soldiers. But on the other hand, they also have to be cautious about their behavior and image. Any sign of acting out or not conforming to the strict military code can lead to a public relations nightmare. Similar to G-Dragon's experience, let's talk about Taemin from SHINee.
In a scale of 1 to 10, how hard it is. Physically, 3. If you're minimally healthy, you can do it. Mentally, it's 8 or 9. You go crazy inside.
And yes, in the true sense of the words, Taemin literally went crazy there. Before enlistment, he had already suffered from mental disorder. During the serving, while having been assigned to the military band, which reduced the intensity to some extent, his anxiety and depression still worsened. This led to a significant change. He was transferred to complete his service as a public service worker, and SM Entertainment had to issue a statement on that. But there is always light, and sometimes fireworks, at the end of the road. In contrast to the struggles faced by many, Key found a sense of contentment and even humor during his time in the army. Key's approach to military life was notably different. He expressed gratitude for the routine and simplicity it brought to his life, a stark contrast to the hectic and unpredictable schedule of an idol. He appreciated being told what to do, finding relief in not having to constantly make decisions or deal with the pressures of fame. This sense of contentment in a structured environment was a welcome change for him, but it wasn't all serious and disciplined. Key recounted a bizarre yet humorous incident that occurred in the practice room, a story that's as strange as it is funny. Apparently, there was a guy who, in an act of rebellion or discontent with military life, spread out all the music sheets and, well, decided to poop on them. According to Key, this act was probably a form of revenge or a statement against the rigidity of military life.
Flashback.
I just hated every moment being in there. I haven't seen a single person who really wanted to be there.
This incident, as told by Key, shows the lighter, albeit odd, side of life in the military. It's a reminder that even in the most disciplined environments, unexpected and humorous events can occur, bringing a bit of levity to an otherwise strict setting. Now, let's bring our focus back to BTS and imagine how they might navigate their military service. BTS as a global phenomenon might face challenges similar to what G-Dragon experienced, intense public scrutiny, and the balancing act between their idol status and being a soldier. There's a real possibility that, like G-Dragon, they might find themselves in situations where they're seen as receiving special treatment, even if it's unwarranted. But still, let's hope this is not going to happen. And then, there's the humorous and lighthearted side, as shown by Key. BTS members are known for their playful personalities and camaraderie. It's not hard to imagine them finding moments of humor and lightness amidst the discipline, just like Key did. Their time in the military could offer a glimpse into a different side of BTS, one that their fans haven't seen before. So, what do you think? Will they face similar controversies, or will they find their own way to blend in? And what about the fun moments? Can you picture them pulling pranks or finding humor in the mundane?